Kane, it's 1-0. We're fucking down. 13th in the championship. The takeover happened, as I said it would. People will be... Oh, when have we got Leeds? Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Your Football Show. I hope you are all doing... well, as good as you can be. As good as you can be, right? But listen, you've got to take your wins when you can. So, you know, if I don't laugh, I'll cry and all that jazz. I'm despondent. I'm disconsolate with what happened yesterday. I've spoke on Connor's show. You know, I've got some videos coming out later on. There's plenty to get our teeth into. But football never stops. Football doesn't stop, yeah? 18 days away from the Euros. When the Euros finishes, we'll be about 3 weeks ago from the... From the season starting again. Final word will be around 6ish, I reckon. Dr. Cox, watch this space. So I woke up this morning. I see Victor Orta getting called a bastardo by all the Sevilla fans in Sevilla, calling Victor Orta a bastardo in unison. That cheered me up. Okay, and then I see the news that it's been confirmed, more or less, there or thereabouts, that Maresca is on his way to Chelsea. Signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Stevie Wonder tactics, yeah? It's been reported by all the top-end journos now. It doesn't look like the severance package of around about £10 million will be any problem for Chelsea. We know that. And, yeah, he's going to be the new Chelsea boss, and that means my man Lox is in the mud. Lox the Fox is in the mud. He's shaking his head behind the scenes. We'll find out why he's shaking his head in a second. I agree with this, Carlos. I think Chelsea are a mess. I mean, I think it's a wild appointment. Lox is bipolar like me. He said he was great. He said he should be gone. He said he was great. He said he was going to be Pep's successor just the other day, and now he's at Chelsea. So, yeah, let's find out what everyone's favourite Fox has got to say. He's been winding up Leeds fans as well over the last 24 hours. He only came for me once. I said, please, just leave me alone, Lox. Tonight is not the night. And he did. He went after some of us and left me alone. Yes, Romano level confirmed. I'll show you, actually, just so you can see that I'm not talking Cod's Wallop, folks. I'll share it with you. Just give us 1 sec there. It's been reported by The Telegraph, Jonathan Percy. I think it's Jonathan Percy anyway, everybody anyway. There you go. I'll zoom in on this for you. Bam, bam, bam. So understand Chelsea and Enzo Maresca are set to agree on contract terms. 2-year deal with option for further season or 3-year deal. This is final detail being clarified. He'll want a 3-year deal because he knows if it goes tits up, he'll get more money gardening leave, right? Maresca already said yes to the Chelsea project. Up to the clubs now to agree on compensation. What I do feel just on that a little bit, if you're a manager going to Chelsea, you're selling your soul. And what I mean by that is nothing will come in the way of the project. Nothing will come in the way of the owners giving you the players. They will decide who comes, who goes. Pochettino wanted experience, wanted certain players. They went, nah, you're not happening. It's our project. You'll do as you're told. I don't think any manager can really worth his salt work in that. Do you think Pep gets told what's to go down? Do you think Klopp got told what to go? Well, maybe Klopp did in the start, but towards the end he didn't, right? Top managers don't get told how it's going to go down, and I feel that that's what's going to happen at Chelsea. But listen, is he asked? You can't turn down the opportunity, and if he gets a 3-year deal, if it goes tits up within 6 months, he's getting a lot of money. A lot of money. But let's find out what Lox has got to say from a Leicester perspective. We'll be talking about who will be his successor. Will he be a successor at Chelsea? What does it mean for Leicester with the points deduction as well? Lox, my brother.
Hello, mate.
How are you feeling, mate? Are you gutted? You seem quite chipper.
Yeah, I'm fine, bro. I'm fine. It's all good. 6 weeks ago, I said Enzo out, and now we're getting paid to get him out. So, we're getting 10 million quid. So, do I think it's... do I think we'd be in a better position for this season if he stayed? Yes. Just for the reason of stability going into a new season. But... I'm kind of torn on that, really. I don't think he's as good as everyone makes out. He's very one-dimensional. Now, that might be all right at a club like Chelsea where you've got an unlimited pit of money. But the problem is the unlimited pit of money isn't going on the players he wants. It will go on players that their owners and their football, sporting directors, whatever, want. They won't be going on Enzo players. So yeah, look, he's jumping at the first chance, which, fair enough. Well, he's not going at the first chance. That's wrong, because Sevilla, he rejected Sevilla three weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, as Romano reported. So he said no to Sevilla, but he's clearly said yes to Chelsea. And I thought he was a smart bloke. No matter what I thought of him.
You said this, you did say this, and I was like, I'm not sure you can't turn it down.
Well, he's one of these disciples of Pep. And, I think, I think I would have thought he would be smarter than to join Chelsea. But if the money he's being offered is ridiculous, which it probably is, mate, let's be honest, he's probably being offered ridiculous money, then, he knows that if he gets sacked at Christmas, he's getting millions.
Get the red panties out, Mrs. Maresca. You know what I mean? It's that kind of tackle, isn't it?
Millions.
Yeah.
I am surprised. I am surprised he's going, though. I am surprised.
Yeah. Can I just... This is a myth, by the way, right? What I mean by that is, let's not forget he won European Cups with Aberdeen. Also, in that time it took him to win the Premier League, he also won trophies before that. Man United won FA Cups and Carabao Cups or Carling Cup before he actually won the Premier League. So this is a myth.
Yeah.
Like, I just think it's an easy rhetoric people use. He won European Cups with Aberdeen. That is crazy. And then also, he actually won English trophies prior to the Premier League. Fact check me, but I believe him, right?
Joe, just before we go on, mate, sorry, can I just ask you one question?
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm going to be going back and forth with the chat, or I'm going to want
go.
No, so I'm going to say one thing to get a certain Mr. Dodo away from me in the chat, right? Joe, would you much rather your situation now, or you have been promoted and Farker poached?
Been promoted and Farker poached.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yeah, that was just for Mr. Dodo. That's it now. I won't interact with him anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I would rather be in the Premier League, but yeah, I don't care. The Premier League is where it's at, for sure. Mate, if I'm being honest, I did a stream the other day with Gabe, and I said the managerial market has gone wild. And what I mean by that is, okay, Maresca did well. Okay, He was expected to get you promoted. He did better than Farker because Leeds were expected to get promoted, right? Yeah. But he did have a big fall off, a big dip at times. It wasn't plain sailing. Do you think you saw enough from Maresca to think that he should get a top 6 job?
No, God, no, definitely not.
No.
Look, let's not get this twisted, because I've been given Leeds fans stick because and all the bookmarks from the Leicester bottling it and all that, and I've come back and said, well, we didn't bottle it, did we? But let's not get it twisted, mate. He got us promoted, but he nearly messed it up. He did. Yeah. He did. Yeah. And the reason he nearly messed it up is because of a lack of ability or lack of want to change it up when it was needed. We struggled big time against certain teams, against Plymouth, against Millwall, against QPR, when they sat back and defended, and we needed something different. We needed maybe 2 up top, and it never happened. It happened in one of the games after the 90th minute. So, yes, he got us promoted. Yes, for the first half of the season, it looked like he was going to break all types of records.
That's been saved for Leeds next season under Farker.
Yeah. However, I just feel like, even McKenna with back-to-back promotions, in my eyes, it's not enough to warrant a top 6 job like that.
Do you think McKenna's more deserving of Enzo?
Well, I mean, he has to be. If you look at McKenna's taken them from League One to Premier League in 2 years, you have to say McKenna has done a better job in terms of like exceeding expectations. It's hard to compare them on that because, Leicester still won the league, but yes, Ipswich got promoted with a worse squad. So it's hard to compare the two. I think the thing that just seems to, and you mentioned, I watched your show with Gabe, and the jokes you've been making on Twitter, mate. It's like if you meet Pep in the street, you get a big job. That's what it seems like. And that's probably what's given. And I've just read in the last hour, mate, that apparently Enzo's obviously spoken to Chelsea and he impressed them with his knowledge of the squad. Joe, I think you've probably got a fucking good knowledge of the Chelsea squad, mate. It's Chelsea. It's Chelsea. You know what I mean? Yeah. You could probably make a decent list of who Chelsea should get rid of and who Chelsea should keep. So it's true. That's not. If that's impressed them, I don't get it. So
yeah.
So yeah, it's. I'm just surprised. I know people are really surprised at how Chelsea have chosen him. I am more surprised, mate, that he's chosen Chelsea. That he's. You would have thought
you can't turn it down, though, bro. Look at the money involved, man.
Yes, that's the one thing, and you think of the risk. If things go bad for Leicester, where do you go from there? Whereas if you fail at Chelsea, there's more jobs you could fall down to. You know what I mean? If you fail at Chelsea, you can maybe get a mid-table Premier League team as your next job. If you fail at Leicester, you're not going to get another Premier League job probably, or mid-table, anything decent. So he's probably just seen the opportunity and thought, I'm going to take it. If I get sacked, I get sacked, get loads of money. But he's arrogant. He's I think it's a good arrogance a lot of the time. I do. I'll give him that. But he backs himself, mate. He does back himself, and he will back himself to go into that job and do well. I just can't see it. I just can't see it. No, I'd say Christmas, but Fabrizio Romano said he's keen on the project. How do Chelsea have a project? What project are we talking about here?
Just buying loads of young players, bro, that everyone else wants.
At the time of his appointment, Graham Potter was probably the most exciting manager in English football at the time in terms of what people thought he might be able to go on to do. He lasted 7 months, whatever. You know what I mean? And if they're going to sack a young manager like Potter that soon, they're going to do it to Enzo. They did it to Poch after a year where, it's Chelsea we're talking about. They're worse now than they were under Abramovich. You know what I mean? So
yeah. They are. They definitely are, mate. I think we're both in agreement that he doesn't warrant being the Chelsea manager. I think someone put it in the comments earlier on. I think it was my man Vic Vinegar about how they're now looking at style and age profile and stuff because they want the next Arteta. They want the next Pep. Obviously, it came out yesterday that Pep could be finished next season. Next season will be his last season. That really then opens up to all the other clubs. For me personally, I would argue if Pochettino ends up going to Manchester United, they'll be in a better position than Chelsea next season, which is mad when they've got rid of him. But I just don't see how any manager worth his salt, and we know Enzo had issues at Leicester in January because he wanted players and he said as much, but you don't have that at Chelsea. You can't, because look what happened to Poch. By all accounts, they were happy towards the end. They have a conversation. Poch probably makes demands, and Chelsea say, nah, if you want to come to our club, you have to be on board with the project. Not even the fans, having listened to Chelsea content creators, believe in the project, by the way, of just buying youngsters and hoping it'll work. Because, look, Micallum Mudryk, I still believe they only wanted him because Arsenal wanted him. It almost feels like which clubs want these top. I mean, let's not forget, your man Todd Bowley tried to make himself or appointed himself the sporting director, for fuck's sake. Like, this is what we're dealing with. So I think I agree with you in terms of saying it's a silly move, and any manager that's worth his salt, it's a silly move. But I understand as well why they make that move, because it's Chelsea, because they've won European Cups, it's a top 6 club, and the money is insane, even if it goes tits up, because you would argue, right? Pochettino's profile as a manager won't have dropped because he was at Chelsea, because Chelsea's a bat crazy club. Do you think?
Yeah.
Like Enzo, if it fails, Enzo's not gonna. His overall thoughts they're not gonna be that. Like, oh my God, Enzo's shit, are they? He'll get a job somewhere else, I'd imagine.
That's what I'm saying. If you fail at Leicester, like, this is what I was just saying, mate. Like, if you fail at Leicester, there's not really, you know, if let's say let's say he stays all season, Leicester got relegated. You know, where do you go from there? Another Premier League team isn't going to come in and get him, are they? But if you fail at Chelsea, there are still mate. Think of how many Premier League clubs now would take Graham Potter. There are many Premier League teams.
100%.
But he failed at Chelsea. You know, just because he failed at Chelsea doesn't mean so. Whereas if he failed at Brighton, you know, imagine he got Brighton relegated, mate. You know, there would be no one looking at him. So that's what I'm trying to make. Enzo probably looks at it as there's the good outweighs the bad in terms of going to Chelsea. You know, the money, very good. The players he'll have at his disposal, very good. But compared to Leicester, but if he stays at Leicester, the points deduction, and I think that is a key thing, mate, the points deduction. I think that is a big part of this. If Leicester were on a level playing field with the likes of Ipswich, Southampton, and then we look at others, Everton, Forest, Enzo would look at that and think, you know what? Like, I can do something here with this Leicester squad. Yeah. But because of the 10 points deduction that it's likely to be 10 points, I think he's probably thinking, you know what? And this is going to be a bigger issue with Leicester's next manager, right? You know, Leicester are going to want to look at certain managers, and some managers will probably say, I don't really fancy that. You know what I mean? You're going to have a points deduction coming in, and it's well known now that the point. You know, when Enzo came in, there was talk of maybe FFP issues, but nothing really concrete. Whereas now it's out there; everyone knows about Leicester's FFP issues. So yeah. And by the way,
go on.
Yeah. You know, go on, mate.
Just on the Chelsea situation as well. Like, just to briefly touch on that, like, they've got a 2-year option apparently, according to the Secret Scout, and on Twitter, and he's saying like they can't get it wrong. They have to give him multiple years. What happens if it's not a success in year one? Which is crazy, because if you think about it, since Clearlake and Todd Bowley's been in, right, they've had Potter, Lampard, Poch, now Enzo. Like, all them managers really are risks, are up-and-comers, are upstarts, apart from Poch, but they binned him off anyway after having success at the end of the season. Like, it has to be right for them. Otherwise, genuinely, regardless of how much money they spend, the Chelsea fans will be hitting the streets saying, Clearlake out, man, Clearlake out. You can see it, man.
Well, I've seen tweets just now, mate, saying that apparently some Chelsea officials are playing down that they ever even had interest in De Zerbi. Really? Because obviously Chelsea fans, most of them are thinking, well, if you've got Enzo and De Zerbi, you go De Zerbi, surely.
Yeah. Well, apparently it was Thomas Frank and Maresca, right?
I mean, the names that have been out there are Enzo, De Zerbi, Frank, and McKenna, right? So out of them 4 managers, it's got to be De Zerbi, surely. But you know, the Chelsea board thought otherwise. And from what I've seen, again, just from Chelsea accounts and whatever, in ITK accounts, the stumbling block between De Zerbi and Chelsea is most likely the power over transfers, the recruitment. Because it's why.
Well, that's why he left Brighton. Exactly. Bro. Exactly.
That's why. So that was always in my mind. I thought, you know, De Zerbi to Chelsea. Well, the recruitment, he's not going to get the power he wants, and even you know, Poch wasn't happy with that side of it either. You know, that's probably, let's be honest, mate, why Poch is. You know, I know I think the word is he's been sacked, but they've probably had a falling out over it. Poch was in the press for ages saying that, you know, making comments about it. So, but it does surprise me again, mate, about Enzo. You know, again, that would have been something that I looked at and thought maybe Enzo won't go because of that. But Darren's right. I mean,
no, they're not.
Of course, there'll be a small section of them that are, but most of them won't be happy.
I watched a thing, and it was quite funny actually, because I watched. It was the A-listers on This Is Football on Hassam's channel, and they were all buzzing the Chelsea contingents that he'd been sacked, Poch, and they're talking about Hansi Flick, and they're talking about all these top managers, and then when you actually look at it and say they've been linked to Thomas Frank, you know, Enzo, Kieran McKenna, they're going to get Enzo, and I just think, be careful what you wish for, right? Like, at the end of the day, I've just seen a great tweet, because obviously it's all trending and stuff. And this is the situation at Chelsea, and then we'll move on to Leicester and who look to replace and whatnot. But they've bought a club, right, who were champions of Europe and the world at the time. They finished third that season. They've sold over 20 players, bought over 30 with a net spend of 700 million, flogged all the Cobham graduates who don't want to go, who I guess knows what it is to be proper Chelsea, and they burned through 5 managers to finish 12th and 6th, and then they're going to appoint Enzo Maresca. No disrespect, that is fucking insane. So I would rather not have us spend 700 million net spend to be run like that. It's a joke, really, isn't it, bro?
Yeah, and I mean, I saw a funny comment in the chat. I wonder what Rory Jennings is saying about all of this. Yeah, there you go, Mr. Dodo. Yeah,
it will be fun.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's wild. It's wild. I just think, the Chelsea fans are just they're not gonna be happy with it. And
no, he's basically got to win his first 10 games, otherwise they'll want him out, bro. Genuinely,
they will want him out. They will
100%.
want him out. I think. And the board will do it. The board will do it. Honestly, my head's scrambled over why he's gone.
Yeah,
Again, like I said, most people are shocked that Chelsea have chosen him. But again, in my head, I'm like, what are you doing, Enzo? What are you... Mate, even if he left to go to Brighton, for crying out loud. I mean, Brighton is a more attractive job now than Leicester, right? And it's a more... for me, it's a more attractive job than Chelsea. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Brighton are a bigger club than Chelsea. Of course they're not. I'm not even saying that Brighton will finish higher than Chelsea. But the way
of course.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
like, if you want a job to try and build something, yes, people have problems like De Zerbi did with the way that Brighton conducted business in terms of, all about profits, all about profits. They don't go out there and spend big money on players to compete. But for me, it's a better job than Chelsea right now because they're more stable. As Mr. Dodo said again, they're more stable, and your job will be more stable, for crying out loud. So more and more it just screams of money. Enzo, it's just screams they've thrown a heck load of money at him, and that's why he's gone. That's why he's gone.
Here's a mad one. Listen, folks, any new viewers watching in, please smash a like on the video and subscribe as well. We're getting so close to 30k. Make sure you check out Lox on Leicester City Fan TV. I do just want to flip it forward then, mate. Obviously, someone just jokingly asked, would you take Farker in the chat? Big up to Danny. No. But what about new managers then? Like, what's next? Who are the early front runners? Who would you want, first of all? We spoke off air. Graham Potter would be a perfect pick. I think we'd all take him.
I don't know.
It's unrealistic. In it,
yeah, it's unrealistic. There's two ways of looking at this. No, there's not actually. I think there's only one way of looking at it. I think the one way of looking at it is survival this season, staying in the division. Enzo Maresca was definitely an appointment for the future, right? It was clearly a thought from the board about building something, going up, blah 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 blah. But now it's about survival, especially with the points deduction we're going to get. So the name I have in my mind, people will laugh, but I think it's David Moyes.
You want to go from Enzo Ball to Moyes?
Do you not think David Moyes, we would have a better chance of staying in the division under David Moyes?
Yeah, but you'd be watching the most turgid football known to man.
It doesn't matter, mate. It's about survival. It's about survival, mate.
What about bringing Brendan Rodgers back?
Okay, now midget.
Do you know, I've seen a great shout in the comments, and I don't know if you'd go for it, but what about Mark Robbins?
I've seen people say it, but again, is it the right choice to keep us in the Premier League? In my eyes, I want someone with experience in the Prem.
Joe Corby says, I want Potter or Carlos Corberán. Would you take Carlos Corberán? Because he has been mentioned.
Again, it's which way you look at it, mate. In my head, it's whether you look at it for something to build for the future. Let's say you bring Carlos Corberán in, mate, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we get relegated,
but he's going to get you back up, right?
No, but this is what I'm saying. Will the board sack him if we get relegated, or will they sack him mid-season if he's got us not, if we're right at the bottom? So I'm saying if the board are thinking, right, we'll get someone in to build something. If we get relegated, we get relegated. It is what it is, and we'll come back up next time.
Yeah.
If we're going down that route, then I think Carlos Corberán is a perfect shout. But if the sole objective is just to stay up, and then we look beyond to the future after that, then I think it's David Moyes. I think we bring David Moyes in to keep us up, mate. I really think that would be a good option. I've seen Steve Cooper said, I just don't think it will happen. I think.
What about Warnock? One more. One more
chance. I also say Bingham as well.
Steve Cooper?
I've seen talk of Steve Cooper. I don't think it will happen just because they were Forest, and you never know. I don't think it really matters that much, to be fair. But I mean, he got sacked, didn't he? I know he probably would have kept them up. No, he saved it. He did keep them up, didn't he? And then he got sacked at the end of the season.
Yeah. No, he got sacked mid-season last season.
That's it. Yeah. Jesse isn't available, is he? He's at
Lampard? What about Lampard? That stinks of a Leicester board signing, by the way.
Well, we tried it. It, didn't we?
Exactly.
But he's at Canada, and I swear he's manager of
No,
Canada.
I'm on about Lampard, bro. I'm on about Lampard. Stinks.
No, we didn't try that. We didn't try Lampard.
I was going to say.
No, absolutely.
Mate, if you got Lampard, I would be laughing.
To meltdown.
Hate-alongs would commence for Leicester and Lampard.
I'd fucking join you, mate. I would hate along too. Trust me.
What about Danny Rawle? Because MK, who's a Brighton, who's an Ipswich fan, says, has he signed a contract with Sheff Wednesday?
Yeah, just signed a contract extension.
I did not know this.
No to Gerrard, no to Rooney, no to David Wagner. None of these, I think. Marty Cifuentes I've seen mentioned, mate. Marty Cifuentes.
It's a big step up from... Yeah,
I know.
It's a big step up.
But yeah, the three for me would be Carlos Corberán, David Moyes, Graham Potter. But I don't think the Graham Potter... I don't think that would come off. I don't think that would happen. I think he'll be put off by the points deduction. Again, if it was a level playing field, if we were starting on the same...
What about stopping Rooney going to Plymouth and getting him in?
Shut up, mate.
Do you... How is your confidence going into the season? You're getting a points deduction. You're losing a manager who's instilled a style over 46 games that's seen you win the league. He's brought in players that have adapted and played well to that. You're not going to have continuity if you then go and get someone like a Moyes. But how's your confidence now? I know this. Listen, Championship starts 10th. I think yours is the week after. Now that you're Premier League, you know, 17th, I think. But how's your confidence now, right now, of staying in the division with Enzo?
Oh no, we'll be relegated.
Chelsea?
Oh, we'll be relegated. Oh yeah. For me, no doubt. Yeah, we'll be relegated. Yeah. I think
I just pray the day that we can ram I Predict a Riot back down your throat.
You listen here, mate. You listen here. You Leeds fan. I've heard of Forest fans living in the past, right? But I've never known a fan base to live in the bloody future. You lot seem to be living in the future. All I've seen is the responses to my tweets are, well, next year we'll be there and you won't be. All right, live in the future. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, yeah.
And you, Joe, you're just as bad, mate. You were telling me earlier on in the year, well, you've got to enjoy the moment. Well,
enjoy it, man. Yeah,
you're enjoying the future for some bloody reason, mate.
I'm enjoying this, bro. This has been the only respite I've had from feeling down, dull, and
but you know what, bro? You told me
Enzo
was a fraud and a shit manager, so you should be gutted that he's leaving Leicester.
No, I think it's funny, bro. Like.
I think it's he's leaving.
No, because I dislike Chelsea, so I think it just means more for their shit show as well.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying.
He's not. I don't rate him, bro. I don't rate him. I don't.
I don't rate him too much either, but I just think we needed the continuity. To be fair, but yeah. Rob Edwards, someone said. Yeah,
Rob Edwards.
I mean,
maybe.
I'll tell you what though, guys, the people who are laughing at McKenna, at Ipswich and McKenna and Leicester and Enzo, like I said the other day to you, mate, this is what happens when you're a Premier League club, baby. Your managers and your players get poached, but there we go.
Just to put the shits up you a little bit, trending in England right now is Frank Lampard. No, I'm serious.
Oh no, I probably but it's not because I Leicester, mate. Come on.
Yeah.
He won't get looked at, mate. He won't.
But
he
apparently
won't.
Burnley are looking at him, which is
Yeah,
wild,
is
by the
wild.
way.
It's
wild.
Yeah, man.
Bro, if they go, like, listen, I'm going to get your thoughts on it anyway. But Leeds United, for me now, going into next season, we have to win the league. We have to finish top 2. That's the least I expect now. As a Leeds United fan under Farker, because he's going to keep his job into next season, the least I expect. This year, there was a lot of context, the poor start, the ownership, the want-away players. Now we have a proper run at it. The least I expect is automatic promotion, even the title. We've got to win the lot, right? We've got to do that. And if Burnley are appointing Frank Lampard, Luton will be competitive. Sheffield United have their financial issues and probably went up too soon, so are largely a championship squad anyway. I look at who's come up. Derby, Ports. I'm not overly concerned. We should be dicking that league. But what do you make to Leeds United's chances? I know, listen, you can mock all you want, but you were WhatsApping me during the game saying, come on, you can do it, Leeds. You're going to score. So don't give it all the big guns.
For you. Yeah, no one else. Just for you. I am going to make a wild prediction right now. I'm going to make a wild prediction. The 25-26 season, 25-26, right. I think we'll both be in the championship.
Well, that means we'd have not gone up.
I think you're going to have a bad start to next season and Fark will be sacked.
If he has a bad start, he will be, and I'll be totally on board with that because we've got to win.
It's just a feeling, whatever. Probably wrong.
Maybe we'll get Enzo because he might have been sacked by Chelsea from there. So
yeah, he might do, mate. He might do.
You know what I mean?
No, I think your team might have a hangover after this.
You think?
What's left of it? Somerville, Nonto. I think Rutter will go. I think you'll cash in. I don't think
we can't cash in, bro. We spent 30 million on him. There's nothing to cash in.
Well,
we'd be losing money. I think we're willing to lose money on players like Aronson and that, but not Rutter, nah.
I just think you might struggle. I mean, I hear I'm not going to argue against the claims that you'll win the league because I think it could happen easily. It's going to be an easier league, but I just think there might be a little bit of a hangover.
But that's excuses for me. We were talking about this earlier. I think there's a video going up later on, but he was saying I don't want no excuses like Farker in the first. Like we didn't get a win in the first 4 games at the start of this season. That can't happen next. That cannot happen next. And I don't want to hear, we've still got a hangover, blah, blah, blah. No. Win the fucking thing from minute 1.
Well, I've seen some Leeds fans say that you need you need to completely refresh the squad. And I've seen people like you say that you need continuity. So,
in the managerial position.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant in the squad.
No. For me, look. Rodon might go to somewhere like Ipswich. Could even go to a Leicester, for example, right?
Can you imagine?
It could do.
It won't happen because of what happened. The beef. It won't. I know that sounds silly. No, I truly believe that, mate. I don't think any of those Leeds players would sign for Leicester just because of that.
No, that's not even.
You don't think the clubs would have
No, man. We're fans, man. They're just all about business, man. Man United.
I don't know, man.
Listen. Man United and Liverpool have traded in the past. Leeds United and Man United have traded in the past. Chelsea have traded with Arsenal. That's BS, that stuff, man. There is no beef anyway. There is no beef. You're a small club. You're a small club that wants to mess with the big boys. That's all. You know what I mean?
Keep living in the past, brother. Keep living in the past.
Did you see the video doing the rounds of that person who rang up saying to me Ellen DeRode?
Ellen Drode.
It was
Drode.
class,
It was
man.
class,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah.
And I've seen loads of tweets from Leeds fans saying Leicester were hanging flags down the M1 so that when they were driving up, they saw.
Did you see the Leeds fans passing the Jaeger on the way down?
Yeah.
Did you see the one that they changed it to on the way? If no one's seen that, we all seen the Jaeger getting past. Well, on the edit, it said Leeds fans driving back up the M62 and they'd replace the Jaeger bomb with a box of tissues. Which I thought was elite. Like football, when the banter's there, you can accept it. I know people are hurting, but it was funny. I can't lie. Instead of the Jaeger, it was a box of tissues. So,
do you think any of the players that you signed last summer will come out? Will leave?
No, yeah. Who are we talking? Your Aronsons and all that?
No, the ones that you signed last season.
Who Ampadu?
In the summer.
Ampadu and that.
Well, Ampadu, Kamara, Gruev.
Nah, they won't go. They won't.
No,
go.
you don't think any of them will go?
No, nah. No, I don't. We need a new. No, you've got. Honestly,
can I just say something that is quite funny, mate? How this and it was me as well. We said that whoever Pirot signs for will win the league, and the team he did sign for didn't even go fucking up.
Shut up, you dick. It's true, though. It's true. Yeah. Listen, everyone smash the likes as well. There's over 700 people here. I didn't think people would be up for it. But listen, if you don't laugh, you'll cry, right? We've got to move on. We've got to get ready. So please do smash a like on the video. Listen, we need to build a squad around, Ampadu, Gray, Joseph, James, players like that, Kamara. We need a new midfielder and whatnot. At number 10, maybe you can put Rutter out wide. Sorry, I forgot to include Rutter in that little thing there. So, maybe take Jamie Vardy off your hands or something. Do you know what I mean? Who would be available from Leicester that we could take, do you think?
Daka?
Nah, we don't. Daka? We've already got a Bamford, haven't we?
Hamza Chowdhury, you want him?
I'd probably take him as an option.
Luke Thomas, you nearly had him last summer, mate.
No.
Wank, bro.
Tom Cannon's a good
Harry
shout.
Harry Suter.
Tom Cannon's a good shout. Will he get game time?
I think you might be able to get him on loan, I suppose. Harry Suter, you wanted him last summer, and we just didn't want to strengthen a promotion rival. Do you remember?
Can you imagine this? Can you imagine this, Lox? What would I do then? Imagine. I'd be finished.
Well, Cody will actually play for Leicester now, mate, because obviously it won't all be about playing out from the back. So Cody will actually play the season now. We'll have a new manager. So unless we get a like for like, but I don't really know who we'd get in as a like for like. So you could get some of our dead wood. That would be that. That's probably where you're looking at, to be fair. But there are some wild. You think I'm wild? I mean, I've seen some Leicester fans out there saying, Leicester should go out and sign Somerville and Gray, and I'm like, are you all right?
But that's because of Kieran Maguire with his bloody scaremongering tweets saying we need to raise 190 million from player sales before we can buy anyone, and everyone who don't know what's actually going on are going, oh my God, I've seen Everton fans saying, go sign Gray. I'm like, are you smoking crack?
Bro, the game's the game, and he did that just after.
100%, man.
Yeah,
of course he did.
He got all the clicks.
He knew what he was doing. He'd been on Leeds United podcast saying there is no problems, and then he put that tweet out right on full time, and naturally it went wild because he knew what he was doing. It's just like the second tier boys. I know I've worked with Ryan and Justin, and they're cool, but they know what they're doing. Like that's why I don't get
the clip.
I don't get vexed by it anymore, though, bro. I just leave it. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. I don't even know. I did some preview stuff with them. I just muted the tweets. I don't know what's going on in the comments or quote tweets of that now. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to know because I just mute it.
The clip that came out yesterday of Justin saying,
bottle.
I
predict a bottle or whatever it was.
I believe that it was actually Leeds aren't in FFP problems, but it's just they need to sell, not for
in
FFP,
order to buy.
but
That's all, like in a way.
Which is going to happen anyway. It's going to happen anyway.
We owe like 770 million this summer, and then overall we owe 190, but 70 is actually due this summer. We've already sold Sinistera and Adams, which were on this year's account, so that'll go. Yeah, honestly, it'll be fine. It'll be totally fine.
Because obviously, with no promotion, I mean, that guarantees a Somerville and maybe a Nonto sale anyway.
Of course, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then also, Bamford's probably going to be sold. Cooper's off the books. Ayling's just signed a new deal with Borough, so he's off the books anyway. You got the likes of Sam Greenwood, could Joffrey move, all this sort of stuff. Yeah, like we'll be all right. The wage bill will come down. I think Vauber actually goes. They're willing to pay 15 million for him. Harrison will be loaned out again. Don't know what happens with Harrison. By all accounts, we're willing to take a reduction on him, having paid 25 million. You're nowhere near getting that again. But there are players that could be sold 12, apparently 10, 12. Yeah, so we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And look, you know me making bold predictions, a bit like you, Lox. But look, at a minimum, Leeds United top 2. I'd even go as far as to say we've got to win the league. Otherwise, it's not good enough. Is that wild to say that? I don't know, but we've got to win the league. I want to win the league. I'd demand we win the league.
Well, I think you should.
Yeah,
you have to.
Same.
Yeah, you have to, because then I think this season hitting 90 points, there is, whether Leeds fans like it or not, there is.
And getting to the playoff final and losing only by 1 goal. It's like we didn't go up on the final day. We then lost on the final day in the playoff. That's like, you are there. You are there. So now get it over the fecking line.
Well, I think Farke's just going to be happy he doesn't have to face Russell Martin next season, mate, to be honest with you. Because Russell Martin's had his number, hasn't he, really? But, the thing is, mate, I think you have to expect or demand as fans promotion next season. Again, like I said, with 90 points, there is an excuse there. I know some Leeds fans won't have it. I know Connor won't have it. Oh, I don't know where his stance is now. He wasn't having it a few days ago. But 90 points it is an excuse. What are you, the first team to get 90 and not go up?
No, there's one more. So that was another thing. The second tier, they got it wrong. Sunderland did it. So, but yeah, it doesn't happen often. Yeah,
exactly. And you still, you demolished Norwich. You destroyed them in the second leg. So yeah, I think,
and that's a team that's going to be in and around top 6. Do you know what I mean? We should be fine, bro. We should be fine.
Yeah. But
Can't say the same for you. Can't say the same for you, but at least you're in the Premier League,
Exactly, mate. That's it. Exactly. That's all that matters, baby. That's what we played 46 games for, innit? Let's be honest. We played 46 games to get promoted. We did it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you did.
It is what it is. Who cares? Right now, I don't care about what happens.
We've only got to deal with these stinkers. Not you, Santiago, but Derby. Do you know when my watch along ended? Right. All the comments were Manchester United fans, Millwall fans, and Derby fans. That's all I kept seeing on my chat just coming in. See you next season. And then Man United fans saying only one United can win at Wembley and all this sort of stuff. So, listen, haters will hate, but, they're watching because they're not us and all that stuff. But
it's back and forth, mate. They'll love you now. You'll love them next year. They'll love you in 20 years' time. You'll love them again. You know what I mean? It's football, man. Cycles. Yeah, man. Cycles.
We will be there. We will be fine. Listen, for the Leicester fan that said it cheered him up and all that, you're losing Enzo. This is what you just got to move on to the next one, man. You just got to move on. You've got to be happy. Try to anyway. I'll probably come off this and be sad again, but it is what it is. This is football. This is what we do it for. This is what we love the game for. Doesn't stop. This is the important thing to remember. Doesn't stop. In literally 18 days, the Euros kick off, you know what I mean? And that's just going to be wall-to-wall, which is also same time as Copa America. So we can start hate-alongs for Jesse Marsh. We can watch Beelzebub with Uruguay. It's going to be a good time. And then when the... Let me just check this, actually. So the Euros ends, right, on the... I'm going to tell you now, right? The Euros ends on the 14th of July. Okay, and the season starts on the 10th of August, right? So that's 27 days. So basically, we've got 18 days till Euros. Watch the Euros and Copa America. That finishes, and in less than 30 days, the season will start for Leeds. And also in that time, you'll have friendlies, Loads of incomings, loads of outgoings. It is what it is, folks.
At least your Wales lads won't be away, mate. They'll have a nice break, won't they?
Well, you're Welsh, man. I don't want to mock, but you're mocking yourself there, broski.
Bro, don't you worry about me, mate, because I'm going to have a summer full of "It's coming home, it's coming." And then, when did you say the final is?
14th of July.
14th of July. It will be tears again, as it is.
We're getting to the final?
Probably. Every 2 years, it's the same thing. It's coming home, right? And then, at least you won the women's one, though, mate. That's all right, the women's Euro. At least you won that one. But the men's, mate, just like Leeds United, when it comes to the finals or the big moments, mentality midgets.
Looking back on when we first met, I cannot escape and I cannot forget. What is it? Southgate, you're the one. You still turn me on. Football's coming home again. And if we don't, Uruguay will. And if not, Canada will crash out because of Jesse Marsh. It's all good, man.
Well, to be fair, mate, I mean, if England, obviously, if Farker has a bad start to next season, he gets sacked, maybe you could bring in Southgate, because I know you're his number one fan, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I like him at international, right? That's all. I like him at international because he's made us successful. But he's another, like with Farker next season, he must win the league. Gareth must win the Euros with the squad that we have. He must. He must. Fair play
By the way,
to Enzo for leaving the sinking ship. Love that.
I've never heard a promoted side be called a sinking ship. If we're a sinking ship, you are a sunken ship. You are at the bottom of the fucking ocean.
Don't let him say this, Evie. Get him told. Get him told.
It is, man.
He is good. Right, listen, I think on that note, we'll leave it there. Enzo is gone. Leicester have a points deduction. We will be back when that's confirmed. I tell you, there'll be many more videos with me and Lox. Yeah, we will be there. And next year, right, while Lox is fuming because they're getting beat week in, week out, we can be just winning every week. So it's all good, man. There's a plan, right? And do you know what I feel the plan is? When we win promotion next season, Pep Guardiola leaves City so Farker can win the Premier League. We will be there. I'll leave it there. Peace out.